now I know that there is some ideas of having Cerro Abajo not just in Europe and Latin America, but also to some other places. This weekend just happened a qualifier in India. Dude. So hopefully next year we're going to have as well a race in India. So now it's getting really international. It's not just Latin America, it's also Europe and now Asia.
Hola. Oh, how do you say this? How would I say welcome to the Ride Companion? Can you say?
Bienvenido a Ride Companion.
See?
Sí.
Perfect. What he said. Welcome to the show. So today is a bonus episode I'm super excited about. My good friend from Mexico has come all the way over for a holiday, and I have dragged him to the studio because we got to talk about Cerro Abajo. He's just had a historic first race ever in Europe, correct?
Yes.
Fosforo Garcia is the, let me just read this, event producer for Cerro Abajo, Guanajuato. This is your title?
That's my title.
Excellent. So I thought, who better to talk about the season and have in for a chat than yourself?
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So you've just got back from the Italian round, the first in Europe.
First time in Europe. It was amazing. Cerro Abajo is a series that was born in Latin America, in Chile, like 20 years ago. So yeah, it's super excited to see that this is going through continents, and the first time in Europe, in Genova, it was crazy, man.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah. So what did you think was going to happen, and what happened? So did you expect the European crowds to be as hype as they were? Because I watched live and it looked really crazy.
Yeah, definitely. No, I thought the European crowds will be like more cold and like, dudes going down the streets, like cool, but not hyped, you know? But it was completely different. The crowd was great. The people, the spots were really packed out of crowd. So it was amazing. People was really into the racers, the riders, asking for signatures and stuff. So yeah, kind of the same vibe we have in Latin America, in Mexico, and in Chile. So yeah, it was great actually.
Full success.
Yes.
I don't know if I got the numbers wrong, but you're a numbers guy. Was it 40,000 spectators? Did someone say this to me?
Yes, 40,000 spectators.
That is so many people.
It is a lot of people.
I've seen this before in Puerto Vallarta.
Yes.
I think one year was 40,000 and I could not believe it. It was like...
I think the best we got in Puerto Vallarta was 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was actually more than Puerto Vallarta, which is
in Europe.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah, it was great. Like Red Bull Italy did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Having Thomas Slavik going first to Genova, doing all this media, and I think that hyped the people, and what it's happening back in Latin America helped a lot to really promote what it's happening right now.
I can't believe that. That's so impressive. I'll be honest, after I've been lucky enough to do these races, not as long as you, but for a long time. And I didn't think, and I don't know why, but I didn't think going to Europe would have the reception that it would have in Latin America. And when I saw it on TV, I was so hyped because I was honestly worried that it was going to be like not as good. And it completely blew it out of the water. Really cool.
Definitely. Yeah, starting with the track, I thought that the track won't be like that extreme as it is in Mexico and in Chile, because regulations are more here in Europe and stuff. But anyways, it was a great track. And the first day it was raining, so it was on practice day. It was kind of hard for the racers to just kept momentum and try to do things. They were just able to do the long jump, the racing jump with raining. But at the end, it finished like on a great race. Actually, it surprised me at the end because it was like, wow, this is happening. This is in Europe. And now I know that there is some ideas of having Cerro Abajo, not just in Europe and Latin America, but also to some other places. This weekend just happened a qualifier in India. Dude. So hopefully next year, we're going to have as well a race in India. So now it's getting really international. It's not just Latin America, it's also Europe and now Asia.
That's super cool because we're currently in a sport that has kind of, it doesn't really have a series that is truly international, right? Like the World Cup series, if you, for instance, you'd be annoyed if you lived in America, wouldn't you? You'd be like, well, I have to spend all my time in Europe and this is meant to be the World Cup. If you lived in Australia, you'd be like, there's literally nothing anywhere near where I live. I'm just going for a European series. So for Cerro Abajo I say it wrong sometimes, I'm sorry. But for it to be truly worldwide, I think is super cool.
Yeah.
So I try on this podcast to like talk about how cool the impact is from doing these races on the local areas. You know better than anyone because you actually live in the town that you organize your race. You have literally in your hometown, the place you love the most, you have the biggest race series in the world for this on your doorstep, and you get to see how it kind of affects stuff.
Yeah, it's in both sides. I think from the local perspective, I mean, these kind of races most of the times, at least in Guanajuato, happens on spots that are not so common, that are not so touristic. So the beginning, at least in Guanajuato, it starts on a really poor area, and that's I think really helping positively to the community, because the kids are looking at all these pro riders coming all from all over the world, and I think that is great for them as well as the race. We start from the roof of the houses. We go inside the houses like Gary's drop and stuff. We got inside the house. So something really important for me and for Red Bull Mexico had been like, we need to like not just go there and do the race, but instead of that, like really have positive impact in here. So really simple stuff like just painting the steps have helped the community, because it started being an Instagram spot for the tourists. And I mean, Gary's house, it's super cool because it was with a big graffiti, something local, like a rana, a frog, which Guanajuato, it's a town of frogs, it's what it means. So from being kind of a dangerous neighborhood, it just started being a touristic place, something that in some other places in the world, like Comuna 13 in Colombia, have happened as well.
Yeah, they happened. This is the first race that I did with you.
Yes.
The first one of your races that we built in Comuna 13, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was super fun, right?
It was. And this one, there's been enough time for you to actually see the difference in this one. Okay, it's not hometown. We can go back to Guanajuato in a second. But like Comuna 13 was Comuna 13 in Medellin was one of the most, it was at one point called the most dangerous neighborhood in the world, wasn't it? It was.
Yes, definitely. Actually, if you walk through Comuna 13, you can see like holes of bullet holes and stuff, but now it's super touristic. The race helped a lot to like just motivate that change that it was happening on that area, and now it's a super touristic friendly place with a lot of graffitis, a lot of urban art, dancing, rap. So and it was amazing to do the first race in there. I really enjoyed it, man. And going through and not a lot of races, urban races happens on a stairs, but I remember we did this on the electric steps.
That was really cool,
yes,
wasn't it? And then the drop off, I really liked the drop after that.
Yeah.
Because it was like, we don't have many blind drops. Normally they're like, you slow down and you can see.
Yeah.
And this was actually blind. I remember testing it. I was super scared because it was like...
Yeah. Yeah, that one was amazing. And actually, it's because of that, and visually and from the TV perspective as well, it was packed of super nice graffitis. Yeah. The crowd was there, so yeah.
I think maybe this is just what happens with events, but you can see like a micro version of the effect it has, because when we first arrive, there's not the feeling of excitement when we first arrive. When you show me the terrain and where the course is going, you could kind of see that people are like, man, what are you doing? Like, this isn't... They'd never seen mountain biking or anything in this neighborhood. Like, honestly, you speak to some people and you could tell that they were like, they didn't know if it was like road bikes or what this event was going to be. Obviously, probably because my Spanish is so bad. But, and then as the week progresses, you see the jumps go up and it gets bigger and there's like hype, and then the walls get painted, the graffiti happens, and then slowly but surely you can see that a place that maybe people felt, if you lived there, you could feel like you were forgotten and that no one cared about you. And then when the event happens, you're in the middle. You're in the center. Yeah. This is the most exciting thing.
Yeah.
Your town goes from being like, this town sucks, to this town is the best.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could really see it, and hopefully some of that stays after the event. You say it would stay, right? It's been a positive thing.
Yeah, it's a positive thing, and that's something like it's super cool. Like a normal medium house in Mexico, for example. Like the race day, it becomes the best spot to be. So yeah, I think that's helping, like in so many areas. Like it's a good thing for the kids to watch the riders as well. The people is getting paid for the rent of their houses and stuff, but also it's making like this economy like growing for them. Because they're like selling food, renting their houses for the people to watch the race in there, because definitely it's the best balcony to see. So yeah, I think now once you go, at least in Guanajuato on the track, people is really excited. Like people ask, Guanajuato Cerro Abajo is coming again. Like, do you want to come into my place?
Like, come to my house.
Yeah, super polite and dude, like, really into it. So yeah, now it's growing and it's a thing. So I think that's super positive. Anyways, there's some stuff. We close part of the city, so sometimes people just get not that happy as well. Yeah. But I think on a general manner, it is a really good impact kind of events that it's happening on the cities.
Yeah. That's very cool. I think a big part of it is down to you and your team though, beforehand, because we just turn up and you've already done a lot of the hard work. And the hard work before you do an event is got to be explaining what you're going to do. Because surely when you first came here and you're like, we're going to ride bikes through your living room, before anyone saw it, like, I understand everyone wants people to ride through their living room now.
Yeah.
But before, how would you explain it?
I feel like super stupid, like trying to explain them, because people thought I was just a madman. Like, whatever. We want to go through your through your living room and just jump from there to the next house. Yeah. Like, whatever, man. And you're gonna get paid, and we're gonna give you a rent, blah blah blah. Yeah, whatever, man. It was really like, but when the trail building was going through and stuff, they just started realizing it was a real thing. It was not just a crazy guy going with them. So it's like looking at the people faces when it's happening. It's dude, it's amazing, and they really get like super dialed, and yeah, like wow, it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love this too. And I'm not like I don't care about like attention. I don't like it because it's like, oh, look at me, I'm jumping out your window. But what I like about it is because I've met these people, they don't know what I'm doing. We can't really communicate. For me, I can't really communicate very well in Spanish. I can tell them very simple things, but not really. And then we do the work, and then when it comes to testing, and you can tell they're like, oh my, this is the guy that that used my electricity or used my toilet. Now the guys that have been like friends with us the whole time, they're now going to jump bikes out, and it's like I find that really super cool. I feel super lucky to get to build them for that reason, because and it's not like it's like what I like about it is because then those people are a part of it, and I think that's what you don't see on the final race screen. Like how much
broadcast and stuff.
Yeah. So
a lot of stories have happened there. For example, Gary's drop. It's because the guy that lives there, he's called Gary.
Yeah.
So it's super fun. He is a tourist guy. He just gives guide. I'm sorry. He gives he guides tourists, and but he is a rapper as well. So he composed this song about Cerro Abajo.
Sí.
Dude, that kind of things, it's like amazing, and it's stuff that we don't see like in the TV show and stuff. And what else? Like for example, the people that you can see on Cerro Abajo 23 in Guanajuato. There is a spot where we passed through the living room.
Yeah.
And the people that was there watching, it was not like people from a production or anything. It was their home, their house, and they were really looking at the race.
Yeah.
So how cool is that? Like, like it's super real. So it's some of the stuff that I really enjoy about doing these kind of races.
Yeah, absolutely. I can fully see it, especially in your own town. Like, I don't know why it feels like it would be super hard to do in England. I guess there's more red tape. I mean, you have to deal with a lot of red tape and difficulties too, but maybe I'm just lazy.
I mean, I definitely think in Latin America, the restrictions from the government and the laws are kind of easier. Yeah. And we also in Latin America have this big opportunity to have good income out of tourism. So this means that tourism is coming through these races, and it's not just the race and that's it. Because of the race, people start like looking like, wow, Guanajuato, it's a cool place, and they start researching, and they see that it's not just the stairs and that's it, and a beautiful colonial city. They realize that we have as well some good trails in town, and it's not just during the race week, but also it starts like people coming to Guanajuato just to ride their bikes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we can ride there for 360 days a year. So, it's that's a cool part as well.
Yeah, and I guess it has a knock-on effect, like it becomes a destination. I mean, you now have video sections, not only in Anytime, but also Death Grip 2 coming out. So I would say, you're doing a good job. One day, I wouldn't be surprised if you're mayor of Guanajuato. So whoever the mayor is now, look out.
No, it's super cool. Yeah, having that productions in town.
Yeah,
it is crazy. I just saw the new Death Grip 2.
Yeah.
Dude, Guanajuato, it looks amazing in the screen. I think that kind of stuff, it's helping, and it's happening as well because of the race. I mean, Brendan went there to do Death Grip 2 because of Cerro Abajo. So it's a good combination. I think that things are just like coming together, and it's super cool. Like, I hope maybe to have more videos, more productions in Guanajuato, and people start coming over and to see how the cities and all the all the things that we have there.
Yeah, like the positive impact.
Yeah.
I mean, right. So I want to talk about this season, but before we do, I can't think how many years when I first met you, it will have been at probably the first time I did Taxco.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a long time ago, but I want to, the positive effects and why these street races happen specifically in Latin America, I think is super interesting. So they're not in the fancy neighborhoods. They're not. No. Why is this? So Taxco, for instance, the first time I met you, you were doing the timing at Taxco. We had done our first street race build, which was a disaster. We can look back on it now and say it's a disaster. We've got a lot better at it now, but what effect does it have on, why does the Taxco government want to have a downhill street race through a town seemingly in the middle of a state? Guerrero at the time was was a dangerous state, right? Mm-hmm. So what is it that these street races bring to local organizations?
I think it's exactly that. It's like government, at least in Mexico and some other countries. In Mexico in general, we have a dangerous situation, but it's not like it's always the same.
Yeah.
You know, it sometimes it gets worse in some states and then in others, just because of conflicts between cartels and stuff.
Yeah.
But then the government comes and do their job and stabilize that situation.
Yeah.
But, you know, the people does not want to come to those places because in news and stuff, they hear that, for example, Guerrero in Tasco, it's dangerous. So what government is coming with us, asking for a race, and show us and the world that it is a safe place. And it is. I mean, you have the restrictions as you have in any other part of the world. There is delinquents and stuff. It's as normal as in some other places. But yeah, definitely it's like, and it's in both sides. It's like telling the world like this place is safe, but as well to the people that live there and that used to be violent or whatever, like, dude, we are here and we are doing like cool stuff, and you can have income from some other things. So yeah, I think it's in both sides, but it's definitely that effect that, for example, Tasco and Puerto Vallarta, that's the reason why these kind of races are happening or start happening, not anymore.
So it's funny you say it, because it's like so we tried to do, there were adverts on the podcast for a trip. It was to Oaxaca, and we came up with this whole plan to Oaxaca, a riding trip where we go with the listeners of the show.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure there's a load of reasons why this trip didn't sell. We sold a few spots, but we had to cancel it because there weren't enough people in order to pay for the trip.
Okay.
So anyway, so I was like, shit, man, did we make it too expensive? What was it that so I asked around, and over and over again, the same thing came out. Like, people from the UK, our audience in the UK that wanted to go away with us, they are worried about the dangers of Mexico. And this is something that I didn't think of because I've been coming a long time, and I didn't realize that was, I kind of didn't realize that was a worry for people. Like, is it safe to visit Mexico?
Definitely.
To go riding, it would be, it's a dream spot.
I think there is two effects. The first one, man, I used to live in New York City. So when I was there, the news are, dude, really bad about Mexico and this country. You know, it's like, there's a lot of violence, blah, blah, blah. So I start texting my family, like, guys, you're okay? Because I watched the news and like, yeah, dude, like, every day, everything's good. Thank you for asking, blah, blah, blah.
Normal.
No more. So I think it's two effects. One of them, it's the global news that you always get just the worst. And I mean, there is violence. I won't say no, but it is really like focused on how, like, between the bad guys are. So
gangs, police, it's conflict between.
I will say more gangs versus gangs, and that's it. So, but is not that something that is happening everywhere on the streets, and no, it's really really focused. So as a normal person, as somebody that is not into that, you can live like normally. It's safe. You need to take your cautions as in any other city in the world, and yes, it's super safe. I mean, most of the places that we go and ride are touristic places. So most of the times you just get to the airport, get picked up, go to the whatever hotel or cabana that you have, and then go ride. But yes, it's super safe. I will say Oaxaca, which is a great spot to be, Guanajuato, Mexico City. It's a nice place to be. And as well, I will say that we were talking before this, but there is this thing when you are a people from another country, that it won't happen anything to you, man. It's like
the force field is how you explained it.
Yeah.
Because so on the car drive over here, I was saying, Fosforo, I've literally never felt scared in Mexico. I'd never felt in a dangerous situation. Not only in Mexico, in Colombia, in any of the other sort of Central or South American countries I've visited, I've never felt unsafe.
Yeah.
Why is that? And you were like, well, dude, you have a force field.
Yeah, it's because, I mean, if something can happen at least in Mexico, for a Mexican, it will be like, it was a robbery, blah, blah, blah. It's bad, but it won't happen that much. But if something happens, if people from other country get robbed, it will be a big deal.
Yeah.
So if it's a big deal, maybe the bad guys will get caught.
Yeah.
So that will make them, they will think it twice. And that's why I think people from other countries are like safe with that invisible.
In that manner, they're in that sort of section, they're completely safe. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So anyways, it's safe. Mexico is just really focused, but that's another thing. So I will say, it's super cool and super nice to ride your bikes in Mexico. And nowadays, I mean, there is a lot of places like really developing. We just talked about Oaxaca, one of the best cities to ride. I really want to go there and live there. It was one of my intentions once I first got into Guanajuato, then to go to Oaxaca just to get into a not that large city. And once I get used to it, then go to Oaxaca. I just loved Guanajuato, but Oaxaca, it's a spot to be, definitely.
I think it's sort of like the riding scene is really on the up as well, isn't it? Because like everyone who listens to this podcast will have heard of Johnny Salido, and now they will have heard of a lot of these sort of other riders. Wanfer and Holguin are doing hardline and killing it on World Cup circuit, and like the Cerro Abajo has kind of raised all of this to the public eye, I feel like, in other countries.
Yes, it is a good platform for some racers to be on the spot and to try to go to the UCI World Cups and stuff. Like, for example, you just got Juanfer, who came from Medellin. He was not a rich guy who can pay for him to be on the World Cups and stuff. But thanks to Cerro Abajo, he just started he's super like fit and he's going fast and stuff. So people just like, wow, this guy can make it in World Cup. So he just started doing the season and he's doing good. I mean, it's a good platform as well, not just for urban downhill, but as well for World Cups, for the Latin America racers.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to go through this series now because we just touched on the series winner.
Okay.
But first of all, we're going to the ad break.
Olly's just nipped to the bathroom, so I thought I'd just have a quick HUEL break, which is actually the perfect segue into this ad. we are extremely excited to welcome HUEL to the podcast. If, like me, you end up running late, you don't have time for breakfast, and you just end up starving all the time, like I do, we've all been there, all right? You're racing around, you're trying to do meetings, you're doing school pickups, which I don't do. Whatever it is, you're going to need something delicious, easy, quick, nutritious to fill the void. So this podcast is now sponsored by HUEL, HUEL, the world's #1 complete nutrition brand with over 400 million meals sold worldwide. Yes, you heard it right. That's 400 million. HUEL is trusted by people just like you and me to fuel their days with convenient, complete nutrition. So you can now actually try it for yourself with our exclusive discount code. You can get 10, in fact, no, we're not doing 10. We're going to do 15% off with our code RIDE at huel.com. But I also want to tell you about my personal favorite, okay? Strawberry banana. My two favorite things. I love strawberries. I love bananas. You can't go wrong with putting them together. Plus adding 35 grams of protein. These things leave you feeling full, and you're not like scratching around for food in gas stations. You're not grabbing a quick fast food meal or whatever. You can actually tick that nutritional deficiency off with a good quality product. So yeah, this is my personal favorite. I also love the new black edition, the ready to drink. It's got another whopping 35 grams of protein, 27 different vitamins and minerals, and it all comes in one handy bottle. Basically it tastes like milkshake, and who doesn't love milkshake? So that's 15% off with code RIDE at huel.com. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with HUEL. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters. Biking. Cheers, HUEL.
And we're back. What a commercial break it was. So we've just finished up the 2024 Cerro Abajo series. We touched on who won the overall. We touched on the fact that you had just been to the last round in Italy. Where did the 2024 series start?
It started in Valparaíso, Chile. Super nice race, one of the most popular ones because it happened during the last 20 years.
Yeah.
It was, they were supposed to do a new track, but it was kind of the same track that we have had on 2023. It was super nice. It's a lot of things happening there. Like Luca Borba, this guy from Brazil, killed it. He won the race. We saw Thomas Slavik like breaking his chain.
Yep.
Yeah. Adrian Laurent, who was not into the podium, he was into the podium this one. So yeah, it was such a nice race in Valparaíso.
It was. There was I always loved that track, and I love the. I think it was where they slow down in the steps before coming onto the road. It just looked so crazy.
Yes.
The slowdown point. Obviously, the fast steps are famous, where Bernard crashed. It's always crazy, but the slowdown steps I thought were really cool. This year, I don't know whether it was just the camera angle or what, but.
Yeah, they're steep. There is a rail in the middle, and they need to do kind of at the same time a crank and pump the bike to get into a drop. So yeah, it's there's a lot of things to do. But yeah, it's I haven't been there, just what I've seen in TV. But yeah, it's an amazing track as well.
Yeah. I like as well that it's like become its own sport. I think that the fact that people now are like training for it is really sick.
Sick, right?
You actually ride. I've been on rides with you, and they always include giant stair sections and descents and like cruising into town. I think that's very cool.
Yeah, people just started like really focusing on urban DH. So there are like training for urban DH. We have seen like Thomas Slavik and Adrian Laurent doing seasons in Barcelona for this. People in Mexico just started doing it as well. We have really good spot in Guanajuato, in Tasco Guerrero. And the Colombians, they have really good and steep steps as well. So yeah, a lot of training in this kind of thing. So yeah,
I like it that it's real as well. I like watching Ferreira's videos.
oh dude,
and they have huge viral success. Why do you think that is?
how dangerous is DH? There is plenty of things can be wrong at the same time. I mean, you're in the city, so starting with a rail, a car, a cat that can just cross the street, you know, or a person who just walks out of their houses. You need to be really with open eyes. I mean, when you're in the mountain, you need to be with open eyes. But besides or plus that, you need to be like taking care of all these things, a cable, things that changes through the day a day. So yeah.
And I think that every single person in the world can probably understand all of those risks, whereas not every person in the world can understand on a downhill mountain bike track. Like sometimes you can see a GoPro, let's say it's Loic Bruni, he's doing a winning run. If you've never ridden mountain bikes, you're just looking at, you don't know it's steep, you don't know what the rocks do, you don't know that the dirt is dangerous. You're just looking at something. Everyone knows what steps are. Everyone knows how hard a wall is. Everyone knows what a railing feels like. Maybe they stub their toe, they know it hurts. So I think, I sometimes I look at like Pedro's videos and I'm like, that is so cool. And you read the comments and it's just people like buzzing off it. It's really cool.
And it's cool that it's being developed as in the urban cycling. Now we are having kind of different disciplines, not just urban downhill. We're having as well urban freeride, which is what Pedro calls what he's doing, because he's not racing anymore. He's just doing media and doing crazy stuff, crazy videos, which are super impressive. So we're having as well now urban freeride, and we're having as well now urban enduro. So yeah, a lot of disciplines out of the same thing that is just urban, but yeah, it's being developed. So yeah, that's super stoked to see how the scene is like going through.
Hell yeah. So round 2, where was that?
Round 2 was in Guanajuato, Mexico. Super stoked to have for the second year in a row this event. Same track as on 2023, but with some changes. Even though the stairs, the beginning stairs were the same, it was a different setup, which you did it amazingly. It was so fast this year, like with the lily path. Dude, that was like,
that put a lot of speed into the turn, didn't it? I think it was.
And I don't think people can like really look how irregular are the first steps, but dude, it's like some of them are short, some of them are longer. Like the distance between one from each other, it's like a really technical place. And it was a nice track. Then Gary's house that we did it again. That's a nice spot, and we put again for the first time these 2 containers, which was super cool to have some containers in the middle of. So yeah, the track was kind of the same. We got a really tight finish with the guys. Sebastián Holguín was on the podium, as well as Paquito, from Colombia. Camilo Sanchez. They did it amazingly. So yeah, even though Luca Borba was not on the first place, but because of the points in that part of the season, Luca Borba was on the first place because he won Valparaíso, and then I don't remember if he got 4th or 5th in
I don't remember
in Guanajuato, but because of the points, he was first at the end of Guanajuato.
It's really crazy, like with a 3-race series, everything matters, doesn't it? It's so you have to complete the season, you have to really be on it, don't you?
Definitely. It's easy to get injured on urban downhill, and you need to travel as well, at least to Valparaíso and to Guanajuato, and starting this year to Genova. So yeah, Luca Borba was on the first place. Luca, it's one of the things I really like. First year of Red Bull Guanajuato Cerro Abajo, Luca Borba didn't finish the track because he's a super fast guy, but he was not really into big jumps.
Yeah.
And remember, the first year in Guanajuato, the last jump, it was 12?
Yeah.
12 feet long?
Yeah, 12,
So-
14. I think we tested at 14.
You
and then-
tested at 14
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
put it at 12. So
Yeah.
yeah, Luca Borba just got there and say, no, thank you. But he just started preparing the next season. And yeah, he did it like really, really
so good. I was
so good.
because he got the dimensions. I think he actually trained and actually.
Yes.
Like, that's really good. That's mega.
Yes.
So the track changes. I like the track changes as a subject because if you look at it, all of the track changes are like what changes you make out of dirt, but it's urban. So for instance, the containers, that was to carry more speed onto the flat section.
Yes.
The drop, that was again to carry more speed and to minimize certain amounts of risk jumping off balconies and stuff. So like it's kind of cool. What I think happens really well is like it's not just adding things for the hell of it. It's adding things that look cool and they make the track work better.
Yes. Even though it's the same track, the same streets.
Yeah.
But yeah, just changing the angles or the feature. Remember, first year we did the Frida's drop, which is we were inside the house, living room, and then a double drop to the street. That was kind of sketchy for some riders.
Yeah.
So for 2024, sorry, it was just a wall ride, super nice wall ride as well with a double drop at the end. So yeah, it's looking two things like safety, obviously the show, and something that I really like to do is like to offer like new challenges and new things to the riders as well to make it like, dude, yeah, I have rode last year Cerro Abajo in Guanajuato, but this year is gonna be kind of the same. But I know that they will put something different and something new to the race.
Yeah, I think it's good when like the difference in riders from when they turn up to when they leave. I think if they turned up and they were just like not worried or not have anything to say, I would almost be sad because you want someone to turn up and be like, whoa, okay, we've got to do this. I've got to work out how to do this. And maybe that means they have one night of like, oh, goodness, how do we do this? But then after they do it, they get the sense of accomplishment that you get from like doing a drop out of a window or and then I think they're more hyped with the final thing. So even if at the start you're like, oh, we've got to jump out the window. And then by the end, you're like, yeah, we jumped out the window, posting Insta clips and like,
Yeah,
I think it's good to have a challenging course.
definitely. It's good to have a challenging safety course.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, it worked because if we compare 2023 to 2024, the number of injured or crashes, it was so low.
Yeah.
In comparison, I mean, we had, but it was so low. And yeah, even the finish line, it looked kind of the same. 2 jumps, but the angles you did and the distance between each other, it has completely different sense one year from another.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. Next year, I think it's gonna be the last year of that track. For the 2026, I would love to have completely a new track for the city and as well for the riders and for the crowd. So,
Rad.
Yeah.
Okay, so going into round 3, we already kind of touched on it. So this has been a weird roundup of the race series. But Slavik was actually up there in the points. Like he was in the overall points, he was way closer than I realized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was, I don't know if anyone did all of the stats to work out what would happen if people were this and
Yes.
this and this.
Some
and
of them. Yeah.
but like I think it was possible. It was quite exciting, wasn't it?
It was possible. Yeah, Juanfer needed to be on 5th
Yeah.
to Slavik to get into the and Slavik winning the Genova
Yeah.
to win the series. Dude, Genova really suited Thomas Slavik. It was super nice track for him. Like he was really strong on the pedal strokes, even though Juanfer and Camilo were just trying to go as fast, aggressive as they could.
Yeah.
But yeah, Genova was a tight thing. And I mean, Luca Borba was the one that was winning the runs, the series. So Luca Borba was with pressure, but he was confident. But yeah, he was just not as fast as the other guys. And at the beginning, I don't know if you remember, Luca mentioned he's not that tall. He is a skinny guy. So he mentioned, dude, I don't have like the weight to be fast on this track, even though he's fast as pedaling.
Yeah.
But dude, compared to Thomas Slavik, who is big guy and pedals, dude, I think one of them,
crazy. That race run was crazy because he put like seconds in on the pedal section, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he was 3 up. Is that correct?
Yes.
3 up in a pedal, and like when you actually look at him hunched over the bars and just cranking is so gnarly, isn't it? There's nothing like it watching Slavik pedal. I mean, I've seen him snap quite a few chains, I'll be honest, and that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it happened in Valparaíso at the beginning of the season. So it was such a nice end of the season in Genova. New track, new country, new continent, and everybody. I thought Luca had a big like chance to win, definitely. If not, maybe Camilo have as well some chances. But dude, it was amazing. We got Thomas Slavik again on the podium. We got Juanfer that is doing great on the season. So yeah, it was a nice way to finish the season.
Yeah, definitely. It was cool.
Yes.
I liked Juanfer's interview because he was like, he'd just won the overall, but he was not happy. He had not won that race. It's like cool to see, isn't it?
Have happened. If you see this, these two Colombian guys, it's super weird because, for example, when Camilo won Guanajuato, he said I won, but I won not with Juanfer doing his best. Remember that in Guanajuato, Juanfer in one of the turns, he just put the tire off. Yeah. Camilo won, but it was I want to win him, but like with the same chances. Yeah. So it's something that happened to Camilo. But dude, this guy is fast. It's super fast, super aggressive. Is consistent as well. So let's see on 2025 what we're gonna have, if new people is coming or not.
Very exciting. So that the moving forwards, the Cerro Abajo. If I was coming to you and saying which bike should I bring, what would you say to me? Because we've got an array of different results, and to me, from the outside, there's no clear answer.
Dude, it is the question. I mean, what I can tell you is based on what the people that it's winning is racing with. I will say that the perfect bike for racing an urban race is a mixed one, and not mixed just on wheels, mixed as well on the fork. So a trail bike or enduro bike with a big fork, I think that will be the winning setup. We have Adrian Laurent using that setup, and dude, he's going fast on it. Yeah. But at the same time, we have Thomas Slavik using a enduro bike, a trail bike for doing these races. So I think it depends on the rider. But what we've seen is that it's kind of a mixed with trail bike with big fork.
Interesting. It makes it quite exciting, doesn't it? Because then for each round, because I guess also the track, it becomes super important. Maybe a track with more pedaling, obviously you're going to favour the enduro bike. But then like there's certain sections that I can tell you are not fun on enduro bikes.
Yeah.
Like the stairs at the top of Guanajuato are awful. I'm on a trail bike to test, and it's really difficult to ride.
Yeah.
And then I watch the guys drop in when they arrive, and I'm like, whoa.
Like nothing is in there. Yeah.
Yes, okay, they're professional street racers, but like also on a downhill bike, it looks just like it does look a lot easier. So it's like not easier, but it looks a lot easier to go quick on that stuff. And like,
And if you see that, for example, in Guanajuato, those stairs, that it's kind of a point that you can have a difference on time.
Yeah.
That point, and after the double drop, you go into on steps as well, a tiny, tight but really steep.
Yes.
That's the key section.
yeah,
The people who was on the first three or on the podium, they had big forks. So I think that's a difference.
Big forks, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I will say, dude, yeah, on a trail bike, it's difficult, but at the same time, it's doable. We
Yeah.
just saw Thomas Slavik doing it.
exactly. He literally won.
Yes. So I will say there is no secret like which bike you should use. Downhill or a trail.
Come
or
prepared, bring two.
Mix.
There we go. Sick. Okay, so I won't keep blabbing on about the race series. I've absolutely loved it. I'm really looking forward to next year, and hopefully more dates and stuff. I truly, really find the street racing mega exciting.
Yeah.
And like I love that it reaches like a broader audience and more people, and the fact that my mum can watch it and understand how fast everyone's going because she knows what a stair is, she knows what a rail is, and she knows how hard a wall is. So yeah, it's really cool. Big fan. Oh, finally we get to my favourite ad. I think it is probably my favourite because it's the easiest one.
Yeah, this one's easy, dude. If you've not got one of these and you're a mountain biker, then what are you?
What are you, dude? You're
Yeah.
probably not cleaning your bike.
No,
You're certainly not. I didn't clean my bike before I got one.
I'm also quite guilty of it.
I mean, I didn't even have an outside tap before I got a WORX Hydra Shot. That's right. We're talking about the WORX Hydra Shot.
Yes.
I use it every single ride.
Yep. Same, mate. I'm with you almost every single ride. I'm going to say almost because that's the sort of guy I am. But I do try, and I still
Freestyle.
keep my bikes in the house. So I do have to make sure she's clean because she comes in the house, you know?
Yeah, there you go. But it is so easy because you've got the power share system.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the battery that comes out of, personally, my leaf blower, my impact driver, my chainsaw.
Okay.
I can carry on. Should I carry on?
Carry on too.
Please,
We're
go
doing
on,
house
go on.
renovations at the moment,
Yep.
as you know, and I've got a few WORX tools in there. So I've been using a grinder, strimmer, done the garden recently.
Nice.
Impact driver.
Impact driver's lovely, yeah.
The tire inflator.
Oh, I need to get one of them, man.
That's really
sick.
Hoover.
The Hoover's brilliant.
And all of it works off one battery.
It does.
It's a dream.
How good is that?
Yeah,
right,
really
so
clever.
there's the difference between when I first cleaned my bike with a Hydra Shot. We're on to the 56 bar version, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, mate. They've added some extra power.
I've
But
got to
it's not
say,
too much power.
No,
Which is nice.
it's absolutely perfect. This sounds like just something that you say in the adverts, and I bear in mind this is the adverts, but it is absolutely the perfect amount of pressure for a bike.
Totally.
Don't blow out your bearings.
Not going to blow out your bearings, exactly.
Right, shall I read some information about it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so unlike conventional pressure washers with bulky body unit, mains connection, and garden hose attached to the tap, the new WORX Nitro High Flow Hydra Shot. So that's the difference. It's the WORX Nitro High Flow Hydra Shot. Runs on batteries. It draws water from any source. So you can do it from a river in Wales when you're after the bike park. You can do it from wherever.
Yep.
You can do it. Bucket, pools,
Bottle.
lakes, even seawater.
Bath.
It's ideal for cleaning around the house and patio.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about bikes. I did just auto cue that and just read what it said.
But it's, again, it doesn't have to be used for your bikes.
You're
That's
right.
the cool thing. We use it around the house and
yeah,
outside
absolutely.
the house, you know?
And I do regularly.
Yes.
Equipped with WORX built brushless motor 2.0, this high pressure washer delivers excellent performance on powerful cleaning with a 220 litres an hour flow rate. That's a lot.
She's flowing.
She's flowing. Designed compact and portable at only 1.5 kilograms. You can take anywhere you need. It's got a 5-in-1 nozzle, actually also very useful.
Yes, sometimes you want it on the pinpoint.
Exactly.
In the patio or something like that. Sometimes you want it a little bit wider. Maybe you're watering the flower beds or something like that.
Absolutely. This goes through all the other applications.
But we know
already
them,
that.
We can
already
move on. We know them. And if you don't
that.
know them, head to uk.works.com.
Yeah.
And if you enter the code The Ride Companion.
Yeah. Is that caps? I have to ask.
It is caps.
It's all caps, just The Ride Companion.
Yeah, just The Ride Companion. That's going to knock you 10% off.
Amazing. That's just on uk.works.com.
Let's do 15% off.
Are you that powerful?
Yeah, we'll speak to him.
You're a podcast master.
Let's just do it for 2 weeks. 15% off.
2 weeks, 15% off.
2 weeks, 15%
uk.works.com with the code The Ride Companion, all capitals.
And it's across the whole range except the robot lawnmower. But everything else. So you could build out your garage a little
really
bit, man.
good,
Get yourself a hydro shot, get yourself a drill, grinder, strimmer, all kinds of things.
Sometimes when I feel lost in life, I actually just go on the WORX website because I can't believe they've got that many products. And
so many.
if I'm struggling for jobs to do, I'll go on the WORX website and it will actually lead me to the light. I'll find a job to do. They've got so many tools. It's insane.
Tool for everything.
Get yourself to uk.works.com with the code The Ride Companion for 15% off for 2 weeks. I can't believe Davey's doing this, but he's doing it. He's pulling the trigger.
Yep.
Not literally, because we don't want to get the studio wet. Thanks, WORX.
Thanks, WORX.
Next up, because I've actually pulled you away from your vacation in the UK, I have had many rides with you in Mexico where I ride around and I'm like, whoa, look at the cactus. And you're like, yeah, cool cactus. This is the first time you've been riding in the UK and you've done a load of riding. Tell me about your experience.
I loved it, man. So different for me. Yes, it's autumn, but dude, it's wet, roots. I was kind of nervous at the beginning. For the Mexicans, it's not like, let's go to
the wettest,
cold place.
Yeah.
No, but I was like I really wanted to know why you guys have such a success on so many good riders, so many pro riders in the region. So yeah, it's a super nice place to ride, like short tracks, but really intense. Not that difficult. They are definitely rideable. And super stoked to ride here. Thank you very much for having me.
It's been good having you, dude.
Yeah.
It always gives you like renewed enthusiasm because honestly, I get to this time of year and I'm like, whoa, I live in a bad place. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
When it's cold outside and it's wet and it's...
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, even when we, like first day, you were like, cool, the grass is so soft and wet. And I was like...
It's so different. Like in Mexico is it's dry. It's cactuses. Here it's plenty of trees. The roots, it's something different for us. Like slippery roots. At the beginning, it was like, dude, but how? But now it's really impressive, interesting, and I really enjoy it.
Talk to me about the food. How's the food been, dude?
It's good.
Hey! I can't believe this.
No,
Did you think you were going to say that?
Fish and chips are really good, man.
There we go. Fish and chips. Yeah.
As you guys have Mexican food in here, we have fish and chips back home. For real. At least one every 2 weeks, I have fish and chips.
Do you really?
But yes.
Nice.
So it was good. I enjoyed it. I loved like the movement, like going into a pub, having beers, and then have dinner. Dude, it's different for me. It's impressive. It's really nice.
It's so funny because it's all the things that we like. You know, we've been coming to Mexico for years. The crew of builders, they're all super used to like the pubs. So then coming to your house and going on the roof balcony and seeing the sunset and seeing the cactuses and the desert and like the mountains and having like cold beers is insanely good. But then it's also good going back to the warm pub in the cold. It is though, I get it. It is. It's cool in a different way.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. It's really cool. Even though it's cold, I mean, I'm not used to cold. It's wet. It's like, dude, It's not the best conditions, but it's like we said in the morning. It's adventure. It's something you need to live. And you need to understand. So yeah,
absolutely. Well, brother, you've done a great job, and I'm happy to announce you go to the airport tomorrow. You have survived.
Yes, I survived, man. Thank you.
Congratulations. It's been really, really cool to have you on and to chat. I don't want to keep you any longer because, again, this is your holiday, and I've made it into a bit of a work thing, and I don't want to.
Yeah, it's okay.
Where can people find you? Where can people follow along with the journey? And where can people find out more about the Cerro Abajo?
Thank you, man. Yeah, for Cerro Abajo, I think in redbull.com.
Yep.
Red Bull Bike as well. Next year we have a nice season for Cerro Abajo, 4 stops. And about my job and the races I do, Fosforo Productions. And my personal is Fosforo Garcia. So yeah.
Amazing. Hey, before we go, the races you do, they're not all super crazy jumping out windows, are they?
No.
There are options for other races that you do.
Yes, I do another race which is called the Ultimate Urban Enduro.
Yes.
So it's 100% urban. Everything happens inside the city. 4 stages, all of them urban. And not crazy. I mean, if you're a pro, you can do like crazy stuff. But if you're an amateur and you just want to roll it, you can just roll it. It have happened a lot. Yeah, super, super interesting. We've done that in Mexico for 3 years. And actually, tomorrow I'm going with Adrian Laurent because we want to bring that as well to Europe and to make it in Spain.
So there's going to be a possibility to do a Ultimate Urban Enduro in Spain.
Yes. I hope 2025 we have the date. So yeah, this is a race. It's like an introduction to urban racing.
Yeah.
And super safe things. I mean, in Guanajuato, I really try to explain in some videos and stuff, you can roll everything. And I was super stoked because
I keep trying to.
Dude, you should come.
I will come. I think the really cool thing is as well that people get the chance to have these pictures of them in the streets in Mexico or in Barcelona, but like, what an opportunity.
Yeah, like on the big spot where everybody's jumping, you can have your photo like in front of a beautiful theater or the crowd. Yeah, it's the same. Maybe some guys are doing like sideways and some other just jumping a little bit, but everybody's with the foot.
Yeah. Rad. Thanks for joining us. Oh, do you want to do any shout outs to your crew as well? You've got a good crew. I like your crew.
I will.
And I think, Yeah,
I would love to say hi and thank you to Fosforo Productions, Cariwit, Diego, Calabazo, and all the crew. Yeah, they do an amazing job. And to you guys, to the BSI. Guys, thank you.
I wasn't fishing for that, dude.
No. But yeah, I really like to congratulate as well to all the job you do, guys, because you're contributing to the develop of urban racing.
You're the man, Fosforo.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for joining us. Normal service will resume shortly. This has been a bonus episode. Davey is returning to the show very shortly next week. Catch you soon. Peace and love. What does he say? Like and subscribe. That's it. Yeah.
Mate, what an episode.
Brilliant. I thought you were really great, Davey.
Mate, and I thought you were even better.
Thanks, dude.
Better than normal.
Oh, cheers.
Hey, how about we tell our lovely podcast community to hit subscribe here.
Yeah.
Click on the video on Olly's face.
That's right.
Click on the video on my face.
Yeah.
And follow us at The Ride Companion on Instagram.
They can like and comment as well.
Please do.
I'm going to try and get this energy and I'm going to bring it into next week.
Let's fast forward to next week's episode.
Done.